Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, I'll be going through all the seeds that I am planting or planning on growing for summer. I've already started a bunch of them indoors. I'll show you how those are doing. I want to say it's been a little over a couple of weeks. Everybody's doing well. And I'll give you guys a bit of an update at the end of the video, but I wanted to go through and talk about all the things that we're growing for summer. So I'm going to start with tomatoes. I'm a huge cherry tomato fan. We eat them all summer. We're disappointed all winter because we have to buy them from the store. And if you know, you know, store-bought tomatoes are just not the same as what you can grow in your garden. So let's just jump in, and I'll go through everything that I have all my goodies here, and I'll go through everything that I'm growing this year. So every year I've got certain things that I grow without fail. First one, sun sugar, cherry tomato. If you've never had these, if you like a sweeter tomato, this to me is the gold standard. It's a fantastic tomato, produces like crazy, tastes great. It's like a red-orange kind of tomato, the color, and it's fantastic. Never had any issues with it. Second one, this is like your classic red cherry tomato. It's the Super Sweet 100. Again, high producing, solid, very reliable plant. Those two are the ones that I probably grow every summer without fail. What I will do is, because I like to make colorful dishes and salads, I'll add in a yellow tomato, sometimes one of those darker ones, like a dark purple cherry tomato. I've grown the midnight snack for a few years now. That was very good. I think that one ripens a little bit later than these two, but equally good. And the yellow, this year I'm growing the Esterina. I don't have any. I just used up the last of the seeds for that one, so I don't have the packet. But it's good, produces well, and none of these split. If you've grown tomatoes in the past, like you know that with excess water or whatnot, some of them tend to split more than others. These ones haven't had that issue. And I can't even remember which ones had the issue in the past, but all I know is the ones that I'm growing now. At least these two don't split. The Midnight Snack didn't either. The Esterina didn't split. It was my first year last year, or 2 years I've grown it. No issues. But I like having the red, the orange, the yellow, just having that mix in a salad or in a pasta dish or something like that. I find it really attractive, and they all taste really, really good. So tomatoes, priority number one. I'll do herbs last. Pole beans. So this year I'm growing Blue Lake pole beans. Now, these are ones that I harvested off our plants last year, and I keep an old packet just to remind myself what these are. So it's the Blue Lake, super productive, no issues, reliable. Love these. And I grow them up a trellis. I create like these little bamboo trellises. I'll show you that when we get to that point sometime in May. And then for the first time this year, I'm growing the scarlet runner beans. These are the ones with the red flowers. Everybody talks about them. They're supposed to look amazing. They're supposed to taste amazing. So I'm looking forward to this. I've grown Kentucky Wonder in the past. I've grown Contender. And I just seem to like the Blue Lake. They're stringless. They're smooth beans. They're good to eat fresh. They're good to boil. They're good in the freezer. I've had bags of these babies in the freezer, and you just grab a bunch and throw them in a pot, and you're good to go. And then we'll see how the scarlet runner beans go. I can't wait. Apparently the flowers are edible as well. I'll let you know how that goes. We're going to give it a whirl. Pole beans. All right. I'm going to try. Okay, so we have a history with melon. I tried growing the Minnesota midget, which is like a very small cantaloupe type of melon or muskmelon. This is not the Minnesota midget. This is a different variety called Honey Rock. I tried growing the Minnesota midget for 3 seasons with very little success. And I don't know, like I tried it in a container. I tried it in a raised bed. I tried it like many different ways, and it just wasn't successful. And then I finally said, you know what, instead of trying to grow that same variety, maybe it just didn't work well in my conditions. Let me try something new. So I just grabbed this one. I didn't do very much research, to be honest. I just went to the rack at the grocery store, found a different type of cantaloupe, So we're going to grow this year, and we'll see how it goes. That's all I have to say. Honey rock. We'll see. No clue. All right. Oh, this one. This one, Tetragonia expansa. It's a New Zealand spinach. It's not the same as your traditional spinach. And this came about because I wanted greens that you can harvest and eat through the summer. Most greens either bolt, like lettuce is a cool season crop, spring or fall. It'll bolt if it gets too warm. Same thing with regular spinach. And there's only so much Swiss chard. I mean, I've grown Swiss chard every season since I've been gardening. But it's not a favorite. I'll eat it because it's one of the few greens that is pest-free, problem-free. It's like a tank in the garden. But I wanted something different. And then I looked up options instead of Swiss chard. What else could I grow over the summer that would be as productive as a green? And this came up. So Tetragonia expansa. I took notes because it's new for me. It's a warm weather. It's from New Zealand, different from the traditional spinach. It can grow up to 3 feet tall, which that in itself is going to be pretty exciting to see. And it's a summer green. I'm just really excited about it. And what I found really interesting, and I don't know if I'll be able to get this on camera, are the seeds. Let me see if I can show this to you. Look at that. They're like pointy. No, that's not working out. They're like these pointy little seeds. And apparently it's like a fruit with a bunch of seeds inside these little pods. I've never seen that before. Anyway, this is going to be a fun experiment this year because I've never grown it. And we'll see if my dreams of summer greens are going to happen or not. We'll see. All right. Turnips. We're a big turnip family. I've always grown the purple top white globe. Super consistent, no issues, steady producer. And we like to eat them, regular, boiled, baked, whatever. But we like to make those turnip pickles. If you've ever had like a Mediterranean dish or a Lebanese dish, and then they have those little pink pickles, I like to make those, and they're really good. And they're turnips. You throw a beet in there, which causes the pink color, but they're actually turnips that have been pickled. I've already got some in the spring garden. We're gonna make more, have them grow over the summer, just to stock up on our pickle storage. So, turnips. My standard carrot, so carrots. I'm doing little finger this year. I fluctuate between the little finger and the mokum. They're a small carrot, pretty consistent in terms of size. They get about 6 inches long. Let me just double check that before I tell you lies. 8 centimeters apart. Seedlings are 2.5 inches high. It doesn't say, but I know from past experience that they're a small carrot and they're very uniform in size. So you can really pack them in if you have a small space. These aren't those big, Bugs Bunny type carrots. They're not huge like that. These are very small, slender, 6-inch carrots. And they're super sweet and they're really good. This is the little finger. The mokum is also very similar. And they're pretty consistent. I've had a good success with these and they taste so good. If you've ever grown, like homegrown a carrot, tastes like nothing like what you buy at the store. They're so good. Okay, I have a whole pack of herbs, but before I jump into that, I also grow French marigolds. And I do this, they're pretty, but I grow them for pest control in the garden. They're supposed to deter a whole bunch of different pests. Pests that I haven't seen. So I don't know if maybe it's working or if it's just, I just don't have the pests that this repels. I put one probably in every bed that I have, except the garlic bed. I try not to mess around with that, but French marigolds, they grow like crazy. This is another one that's a tank. If you want an easy flower to grow in the yellow orangey tones, marigolds are your thing. If you want to try, if you have an issue with pests, just do some research on the marigold thing. Marigolds and nasturtiums are apparently good for pests. Okay. Herbs. The 3 that I grow without fail every year are chamomile. Now this is a really old seed packet because it keeps reseeding. You grow it once and it just reseeds every year and it comes back. which is awesome. This is it's either Bode Gold or Bode Gold. It's a German chamomile, and I dry it for herbal tea, and it's so good. So this is number one. I grow that every year for tea. I grow mint every year for tea, and the odd mojito. I mean, let's be honest. And this is called menthol mint. It's like I think it's like a spearmint. Good for tea, menthol mint, and lemon balm. And I dry this also for tea. And I like to mix the three of them together. So I'll dehydrate everything. I have a small dehydrator, and I'll dehydrate them all. I have tins to store each of them, and you can mix and match. Like some nights I'll have a chamomile tea. Some nights I'll have a mint and lemon balm. Sometimes I'll have all three. And the combination is just so good. Amazing. So those three without fail. Genovese basil is the other one. Without fail, every year grow this. It's that traditional Italian basil that we all know and love. We eat it fresh. At the end of the season, when it's time to pull the plants, I'll just make pesto and just load the freezer with pesto to enjoy over the winter. It's just a classic summer flavor. Basil, love it. And Italian flat leaf parsley. I grow this every year. It's a very underrated herb, I find. It's just like people think of it as a garnish, but it's got such good flavor, and it brightens up so many dishes. I love parsley. Poor thing. Now the thing with parsley though is that let me get it right. It's biennial. You grow it the first year, it produces. The second year doesn't produce as much, but it flowers. I think that's what it is. So I just end up growing it every year. I tried one year to let it flower the second year and to harvest the seeds, but it took up space in my garden, which back at the old house, I had limited space and I didn't want to do that. So I typically grow it as an annual. Okay. This is another one. This is another one that I harvested from my garden last year. It's dill. This is like a lifetime supply of dill. And I use dill to make pickles, the little baby cucumbers. I buy the cucumbers, which maybe next year I'll grow my own. And I use I use dill flowers in the pickling brine in the mix. So that's why I grow dill. Now these three are new for me this year. I've grown Thai basil before, but not at this house. And it had been a while since I grew it, so I got fresh seeds. So this is Thai basil. If you've ever eaten at those fast food Thai places and there's that flavor, sometimes it's in the soup, sometimes it's in the basil fried rice. This is what it is. And you would recognize it as soon as you smell the leaf. Like, oh, that's what the Thai basil is. That's that flavor and that smell. And it's a beautiful plant. It grows these beautiful purple blooms. Like if you want to grow it just for the ornamental value, it's super nice, but it tastes amazing. And it's a different type of basil. Slight licorice. I don't taste the licorice, but they say that it has that slight anise flavor. But I just like it because it reminds me of the dishes from the from the Thai place. That's so good. Summertime. This one, I hadn't been successful growing this ever, but I'm going to try this year. The seeds came up beautifully, the seedling, so I'm going to give it a whirl. And it's an annual. Is it an annual? Perennial. Thyme is a popular perennial herb. Okay, well, we'll give that a go. I'll leave it in the pot and we'll see if it comes back next year. But it says plant type annual. Anyway, we'll see what happens. But thyme is really good. I use a lot of dried thyme. And I said, you know what? We're going to try growing some fresh thyme and see what happens this year. And then lastly is borage. I haven't grown this. Apparently the bees love it. Apparently the flowers, the leaves are good in tea, in drinks, in salads. It's supposed to taste like light cucumber flavor. It's got enormous medicinal properties. So I said, you know what? I'm going to try growing this year and we'll see how it goes. Did I get everything? I think so. Beans, carrots, all the herbs, the basil, the tomatoes, pest control with marigolds. That's pretty much it. So that is the plan for the summer. Spring's already in the garden. Summer seeds have started. I've got a couple of things that I have to direct sow, like the melon. The dill, I'll direct sow the something else. I forget what. But everything else, the seeds have started. So let's pause here and I'm gonna bring you over to my seed starting tray and give you an update on how all the seeds are doing. Okay, this is my summer seedling tray. Everything fits in one tray, which is awesome. So up at the front here are the marigolds. These, how many do I have there? 12? And I typically put one in each bed. So, and I don't overplant these. So there's a dozen marigolds. They're so solid. These things never fail. You know what? Let me go at the back. So that first row at the back, these guys here, you'll see I had to reseed a couple, so they're a little bit behind. But that first row are the Sun Sugar. The second row of tomatoes are the Super Sweet 100. I've got 8 of those, and then 4 of the Esterina. These little guys right here. And every once in a while, I just come through and strengthen them a little bit. I wouldn't do that with these little ones until they're big enough, but for these guys, and I like doing this and then smelling that tomato plant smell. Oh, it smells like summer. All right, let's keep going. Now, this up here is the Thai basil. These one didn't come up for whatever reason. I just seeded again today. So that's the basil plant. And it's funny how that's the Thai basil. This up here, there's 8 of the Genovese basil. They have the very similar leaf shape, I find. And you'll notice that from one seedling to the next, that they have, different, obviously, similar plants have similar shapes. Let me see. I don't remember. This is the borage. These 2 little big leaf ones right here. I've never grown it before, so I thought that was pretty cool. Looks pretty neat. This is, hold on, I need to get my list because I'm losing track of what I planted where. All right, give me a second. So that's the Thai basil at the back. These are the mints. So I have 2 mints that came up, 2 didn't come up, and mint and lemon balm seeds are really, really tiny. So the little seedlings that come up are really small. But 2 mint plants is perfectly fine. I'm not going to worry about the 2 that didn't come up because 2 mint plants will provide me with plenty of mint. These 4 here, these 4 are the lemon balm. Again, tiny little seeds, so tiny little seedlings for now. They'll grow bigger. These 8 are the Genovese basil. What's G? That's the borage right there. What's next to the borage is parsley. So these are parsley. I obviously planted more seeds than I thought I did, clearly. Because there's like two in there and a lot in there. I'll thin them out later. And then I did the same thing with the thyme, just because of my past history of not being, sorry, that's my list right there, of not having good success with thyme. I overseeded, so there's a lot of thyme in there. I'll thin those out eventually as well. But all of that is doing really well. This is my trusty planting layout. Anyway, it's all good. But all of that is going well. And then the only other thing that I had grown were the seeds that I had harvested last year for the columbine. And those are still doing okay. This one, I let it dry out by accident. So this one's looking a little dry. But these other 3 are still doing well. I'm going to keep them inside. I'll probably start hardening these off at the same time as the summer stuff, sometime in the middle, 3rd week of May. And then transplant everything outside. Again, weather permitting. I always have that little asterisk there. You got to keep an eye on the weather because these are all, they can't handle frost. So I forget what the word is. Not frost delicate, but frost tender. So they can't handle the frost. It's got to be planted outside way past the risk of frost, or else they'll obviously be damaged and won't survive. So that is the update of the summer seedlings. Everybody's doing well.